In the headlines, Independent National Electoral Commission says fresh 10.2 million Nigerians register for voters' card. Lawmaker protest continued. Stay of Abuja-Kaduna train attack victims in captivity. Daughter of abducted CAD Poly lecturer regains freedom after 38 days in captivity. And on the foreign scene, UN Rights Chief lauded Central African Republic for ending death penalty practice. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Now the news in detail. The Independent National Electoral Commission Wednesday said fresh registration in the continuous voters registration has hit 10.2 million. INEC, while disclosing this in its Q4 Week 7 report released in Abuja, said 6.5 registrants have so far completed their registration. The Commission said out of the people that completed their registration, over 2.9 million did it online, while over 3.6 million did a physical registration. A gender breakdown of the registration revealed that 3,253,441 of the people were males, while 290,804 were females, of which 53,663 were persons with disabilities, while 4,550,847 were youths. In politics, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has appealed to delegates of the All Progressives Congress to support him to clinch the ticket of the party in the upcoming presidential primary. In a letter signed by his spokesman, Lawan, on behalf of the Lawan campaign organization, Lawan assured that he will work for the benefit of the people if given the opportunity. He also urged them to choose a candidate not on the basis of financial inducement, but on character, trust, and ability to deliver on the task of rescuing the nation. Former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, on Wednesday received his certificate of return as the presidential candidate of Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party. Atiku collected the certificate at the headquarters of the PDP at Wadata Plaza in Abuja. He recently emerged as a presidential candidate of the PDP for the 2023 general election, having polled 371 votes to defeat his closest contender, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who polled 237 votes. Since his entry into politics in 1993, Atiku has unsuccessfully contested 5 times for the office of President of Nigeria in 1993, 2007, 2011, 2015, and 2019. Many see the 2023 election as his shot at winning the presidency.
And as we march forward, we need all of you, because each one of you has a supporter. And all of you plus your oil of supporters we have only started the journey. We shall end this journey sometime next year. By the 1st of June next year, we should take over power.
About improving our lives. So let me commend the National Working Committee for transforming this place into a decent and beautiful hall. This is a clear evidence that if we have a new PDP government, we will transform this house. When I came here in April and informed the National Working Committee of my intention to offer myself for consideration as the flag bearer of our great party, People's Democratic Party.
Still in politics, the group of concerned Yoruba Muslims are appealing to the leadership of the All Progressives Congress to field a southwestern Muslim presidential candidate as its flag bearer in the forthcoming 2023 presidential election. The group explained that Muslims in the Southwest have remained quiet for decades and believe 2023 provides an opportunity to elect the next president who will undo the years of marginalization. The report.
The assumption and attempt to permanently disenfranchise the Southern Muslim, the opportunity to aspire for the highest position of president or vice president of the country is undemocratic, injurious, and will be resisted with all legal means available.
They say it will no longer be business as usual, as they will reject any attempt of candidates in position.
This time around, it will no longer be business as usual. And if the party makes the mistake of denying us the opportunity of having a Muslim president through vicious power game plan, we will not take it.
They also added that the call was in no way a means to promote the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, as he isn't the only Yoruba Muslim in the race.
As regards the case of the candidates who are aspirants, it is not only Asiwaju that is a Muslim. At least I can count on my fingertips 3 of them that are well known as Muslims. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Senator Ibikule Amosun, and Right Honorable Dimeji Bankole from Asoma. So these three are from the Southwest, and they are all Muslims. They are part of the Muslim body from the Southwest. We have been disenfranchised and we have been relegated for quite some time. Our own position is that when the position of the presidency is zoned to the north, it is up to the northerner to decide who they want to elect. But when the position comes down south, we have seen a general attempt by some people to insist that it is only Christians that should emerge whenever the position comes down to the south.
They explained that although all zones can contest for the presidency, the Southwest has worked the hardest.
Anybody can decide to contest for the presidency, but the person or the group or the region must have worked sufficiently enough to justify that calling. Otherwise, they will be seen as a jesters.
A member of the House of Representatives, Bamidele Salam, has tasked President Muhammadu Buhari to act fast and decisively in securing the release of the remaining kidnapped victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack. Representative Salami, who represents Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, Ejigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State, also called on his colleagues in the National Assembly and Nigerians to join him in urging President Muhammadu Buhari to utilize his power as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to free the victims and many others languishing in captivity. Responding to questions on Wednesday over the possibility of the National Assembly initiating an impeachment proceeding in the face of rising insecurity, the lawmaker, however, opined that impeachment is a solution as it would cause political turmoil in the country. He described as unnecessary the diversionary a recent bill passed by the Senate, part of which provided for the prohibition of payment of ransom by families of kidnapped victims, especially where government does not react swiftly.
Useful population who are looking up to us for solutions to the problems of this nation will continually lose hope in this country. It is to avoid this that I've decided this afternoon, to join my voice to that of other well-meaning citizens of this very great country, to appeal to the president of this country to please, in the name of the Almighty Allah, in the name of the God who created the heaven and earth, to arise and redouble his efforts to secure the release of these kidnapped citizens and other fellow citizens of this country who are in the bushes, in the forest, and in other, other unimaginable places at this hour, whose only hope is that they will have a country that will rise up for them. That is why I decided this morning to stage a walk from the Unity Fountain to this place, holding this placard, asking that the president should please, for the sake of Nigeria, for the sake of posterity, arise and do more to free the Kaduna train kidnap victims and other citizens who are in captivity in various parts of Nigeria.
Amira, daughter of the abducted Ket Poly lecturer, Dr. Ramatu Abashi, has regained freedom after spending 38 days in bandits' den. She was released on Tuesday and moved to an undisclosed hospital for medical checkup, according to a source. Dr. Abashi, her daughter, and their driver Ibrahim were abducted on April 24, 2022, along Kachia-Kaduna Highway while returning from a charity mission. While she was released about 3 weeks ago, the driver regained freedom last week, while the daughter was released 5 days after the driver. Daily Trust learned that the abductors collected ransoms that ran into millions. On security, 2 notorious bandits in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State, Dullu and Nammaigari, have been killed alongside at least 15 others during an attack on their base by another notorious bandit, Bello Turji. According to Daily Trust, the clash on Tuesday morning is the bloodiest encounter between the two sides, who have been locked in a long rivalry. Reports say Turji mobilized fighters loyal to him who launched an unexpected attack at the Mania hideout of the rival gang, where they killed some of the gang members, including Dullu himself and Nammaigari, who is a younger brother of Bashari Mania, a noted bandit turned intermediary. Spokesman of the Zamfara Police Command, SP Shehu Mohammed, could not be reached as at the time of filing this report. Bandits in the early hours of Tuesday abducted students and other travelers along the Birnungwari Highway. They also burned 8 vehicles conveying students to their examination for admission into the School of Health at Makarfi, scheduled for Kaduna State University. According to a statement by the Public Relations Officer of Birnungwari Emirate Progressive Union, Idris Saidu, the bandits laid siege on 3 different locations on the highway, forcing motorists to make U-turns while some were abducted. One of the students who escaped, Abubakar Haruna Babajo, said 8 vehicles were set ablaze by the bandits after abducting all the passengers, adding that they were lucky to have escaped. Bepu advised intending travelers to either suspend their journey or use other possible alternative routes, saying a large number of bandits were currently stationed at about 3 locations on the highway. Efforts to get police reaction to the kidnap proved abortive, as neither the police commissioner nor spokesman of the State Police Command could be reached at press time. Trial of Andrew Omonikoron, the driver of the BRT who allegedly raped and murdered a 22-year-old fashion designer, Oluwabamiche Ayanwole, failed to proceed on Wednesday due to the ban of commercial motorcycles. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, had on May 18, 2022, announced a ban on the operations of commercial motorcycles, also known as Akada, in 6 local government areas in the state with effect from June 1st. Following the development and the planned protest by the Okada riders, the Controller of Prisons, Adebisi Adewale, directed a temporary suspension of conveying inmates to various courts in the state due to intelligence and security reports of possible breakdown of law and order during the protest. At the resumed hearing of the case on Tuesday before Justice Sharifat Sonaike of the Lagos High Court sitting at Tafawa Balewa Square, the defendant was not produced. But the Director of Public Prosecutions, Dr. Babajide Martins, after announcing his appearance, informed the courts that the prison service did not bring the inmates to court due to security reasons over the Okada ban. You're still watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Niger governor calls for support for pastoralists. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that Independent National Electoral Commission says fresh 10.2 million Nigerians register for voters' card. We also heard that lawmaker protest continued stay of Abuja Kaduna train attack victims in captivity. And in health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control says no fewer than 54 people have died of cholera disease in the country. In its latest report on the outbreak of the disease, the NCDC stated that the deaths were recorded between January 1 and May 1, 2022. It added that over 1,800 suspected cases were reported in 77 local government areas across 16 states of the country. The states are Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Borno, Cross River, and Katsina. Others are Kebbi, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Ondo, Rivers, Taraba, and Zamfara. According to the health agency, 12 local government areas across 6 states reported more than 30 cases this year. These comprise 5 in Cross River, 3 in Taraba, as well as 1 each in Bayelsa, Katsina, Kebbi, and Rivers states. The governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, has solicited support for pastoralists in Nigeria to make up for the gap between farmers who enjoy government support and pastoralists who do not enjoy any of the government intervention. The governor made this known at an event organized by the Governor Association of Nigeria in conjunction with Northern Consensus Movement. The report.
We provide palliatives to farmers that have lost their farms or their crops. When a young Fulani boy loses his cattle to cattle rustlers, no one even knows. No palliative. So, he does not feel that there is government. He does not know what government is, because the government is not there for him. So the time has come for government to play a major critical role to address some of these anomalies.
In business, a meeting of the National Food Security Council to address the challenge of food inflation, expected to be chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari, is to be convened soon. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed this Wednesday while briefing State House reporters on the outcome of the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The minister, who presented first quarter 2022 gross domestic product report to FEC, said she reported to Council that inflation had started going upward. She said the Central Bank of Nigeria had to adjust the monetary policy rate to 13% in the last meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee in an attempt to manage the cost of inflation. On the GDP report, the minister said it showed that the Nigerian economy had grown by 3.1% in the first quarter of 2022. Nigeria and 44 other countries around the world are severely exposed to the Ukraine war-induced food crisis. A report by Boston Consulting Group, a global management consulting firm, said it explored in detail the multiple direct and indirect impacts of the turmoil in Ukraine on global food systems. The BCG report also provides 13 near and medium-term solutions to help respond to the crisis and improve the resilience of global food systems. The report further said Nigeria and the other affected countries face severe levels of extreme poverty, compounded by the ongoing economic and social challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. It said the affected countries, which were concentrated in Africa, South Asia, and Latin America, are hotspots around the world as they endured some of the worst effects of the crisis. Still in business, the volume of trade between Namibia and Nigeria is currently $10 million, Humphrey Giseb, High Commissioner of Namibia to Nigeria, says. Giseb said this while briefing newsmen in Abuja on a wide range of issues centered on the country's plan to deepen Namibia-Nigeria bilateral relations. According to him, Nigeria had greatly supported Namibia, saying Nigeria was at the forefront of the agitation for Namibia's independence. He extolled the African Continental Free Trade Agreement initiative and expressed the hope that outstanding challenges that hinder trade operations would be formalized to boost trade among African countries.
Our trade is somewhere around 10 million a year, and we are mainly exporting salt and electronics. There is a factory that is being built in Lagos to produce those Namibian electronics. The relationship between Namibia and Nigeria is indeed excellent, and our expectation is that when, hopefully this year, in August 2020, we will have the next joint commission of cooperation between Namibia and Nigeria. We will be able to put a number of win-win projects between Namibia and Nigeria on the table. This is the 5th time that this joint commission will be meeting. I think it has stood the test of time, and it's a testimony of a strong relationship that has been cemented during the difficult days.
Away from Nigeria, the United Nations Rights Chief, Michelle Bachelet, has welcomed the decision by lawmakers in the Central African Republic to end capital punishment in the country. In a statement on Wednesday, she said the death penalty is incompatible with fundamental tenets of human rights and dignity, and encouraged President Faustin Archange to promulgate it. No executions have been carried out in CAR since 1981, and last Friday, lawmakers approved new legislation making death sentences illegal. About 170 countries so far have abolished or introduced moratoria of death penalties in law or practice. Away from Nigeria, a fragile, unbrokered truce between the Yemeni government and Houthi rebels is hanging in the balance Wednesday as talks on renewing it hit trouble, threatening the humanitarian gains of the past few months. Aid agencies and Western governments have urged Yemen's warring parties to extend the truce, which has significantly reduced the intensity of fighting in a conflict and the United Nations says has triggered the world's worst humanitarian crisis. But with just one day before the truce expires, there's no sign of breakthrough in unbacked talks. Yemen has been gripped by conflict since the rebels overran Sana'a in 2014, triggering a Saudi-led military intervention in support of the beleaguered government the following year. And finally, in sports, Manchester United has confirmed that Paul Pogba will leave the club when his contract expires in June 30, amid rumors the midfielder is set to return to Juventus on a free transfer. A World Cup winner is set to move on to a new challenge after an underwhelming second spell at Old Trafford. Pogba became the most expensive player in United's history when he re-signed for the club from Juve in an £89 million deal back in 2016. Unfortunately, the Frenchman was unable to live up to that hefty price tag, and the Red Devils have decided against extending his contract after his latest underwhelming campaign. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.